Human progress is dependent on our capacity to protect the resources found in the five elements. Biodiversity in agriculture is the foundation of pure, sattvic food and highest cultivation. Expansion of biodiversity in agriculture will ensure harmony with the environment. We can make best use of our natural resources by increasing the nutritional value of agricultural products like grains, pulses, fruits, etc. through the control of diseases, pest control, land protection, and by increasing fertility. The world population has never been as high as it currently is. Nature is tolerating this extreme atrocity of the modern times. Global warming, environmental pollution, famine, poor quality seeds, increasing barren lands, increase in the threatening diseases, toxic food. Who is ultimately responsible for all this? The sound of the inner voice emerges. We are responsible. Human beings seem to be very concerned about how to have good health. All the available resources have now been polluted, toxic, and a source of sorrow. In such circumstances, the poor and the deprived are forced to survive in suffocating circumstances. If we go deeper into this, then we discover that the food we are consuming is not as sattvic, nutritious, and empowering as it should be. To overcome such challenging circumstances, a few farmers, men and women, are considering the impact of foodborne illnesses now faced by human beings that are caused due to application in agriculture of poisonous pesticides and poisonous chemicals. The entire human race has become disturbed, peaceless, and full of tension due to the consumption of toxic food. The earth is also gradually becoming barren. They have realized that according to karmic principles, to give our Mother Earth poison and further provide poisonous food to people means that we will have to suffer the consequences. With this in mind, these people decided to grow pure food. These are farmers who practice the Rajyoga Meditation taught by the Brahma Kumaris. Whilst connecting themselves in the remembrance with the Supreme Being, maintaining positive thoughts and pure feelings, they carried out some unique experiments on their farms. At the same time, they also used organic farm manure, fertilizer, through which they achieved outstanding results. Gradually, more and more farmers began to adopt these methods. Today, this has become an important part of the work of Brahma Kumaris and come to be known as the Sustainable Yogic Agriculture Project. The power of thoughts. According to the quantum theory, the entire world is a game based on principle of attraction and vibrations. The power of thought is that special energy which can make the impossible possible. If we want, we can enable good crops to grow just with the power of our thoughts. Do you not believe this? We will demonstrate you such experiments that will definitely transform your way of thinking. Uri Geller, the well-known psychic, was able to germinate radish seeds on the palm of his hands through the power of thoughts within few minutes. The same seeds normally require a few days to germinate in the fields. Similarly, the Japanese scientist Emoto Masaru experimented on water with music, pure feelings, and negative emotions, demonstrating how nature is indeed sensitive to each and every vibration and thought. Linked with this, some farmers in India have experimented on their fields with the power of thoughts through the practice of Rajyoga Meditation and have obtained unparalleled results. Rajyoga Meditation. Rajyoga Meditation is the art of maintaining a constant flow of positive thoughts and pure feelings. The soul is originally of extremely pure quality. The vibrations of bliss, knowledge, peace, love, happiness, purity, and power are constantly being produced and expressed through its aura. The Supreme Soul is the ocean of these 7 divine qualities. This energy from the Supreme Soul is present throughout the Supreme Dimension. Rajyoga Meditation is a journey to the inner world where the beautiful meeting with the Supreme Source can be experienced. When our mind is stable in the awareness of the Supreme Soul, then the flow of positive energy from the Supreme begins to flow into the soul. Our aura becomes charged through this. In this way, the energy of life begins to spread into the whole environment. When we focus this supreme energy of light and power on the earth, then the earth's subtle components become charged. The fertility of the land increases and it begins to be purified. If we focus the supreme energy of light and power on water, then the molecular structure of water is charged. The water starts becoming pure. If we focus the energy from the supreme energy of light and power on the seeds, then the germination capacity improves and the seeds become powerful. If we focus this supreme energy of light and power on the plants, then their growth and immunity increases. Sustainable yogic farming. Preparing the land. Plow the land and let it absorb the rays of sun in order to destroy the harmful insects and weeds from the previous harvest. The seed empowerment. Before sowing any type of seed, they need to be charged with positive vibrations from the supreme source of light and power. Experience this supreme power being filled into the seeds. Feel that through this supremely pure power, the seeds are being filled with the energy of life. Place the seeds in the meditation room for 1 full week. Then, the seeds can be planted whilst being in the remembrance of the Supreme Being. Plant care. Following the seed empowerment and before the next step of providing water of life and applying organic fertilizer to the soil, the beloved Supreme Father, Supreme Soul can be invoked. It can then be experienced that powerful life energy of the Supreme Being is enabling the manure to be extremely fertile. Then, place the manure in the land whilst in the remembrance of the Supreme Being. Meditation at Amrit Vela. From 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., whilst giving Sakash, the supreme energy of light and power, experience being a source of living divine light, the soul. The Supreme Soul is my Father, the one whom we call Baba with love. He too is the point of light, like a shining sun of knowledge, filled with the energy of life. Divine rays are emerging from that one and being absorbed into I, the Soul. From I, the Soul, very powerful rays are emerging and spreading into the environment. In all the elements, the earth, water, air, ether and fire are all becoming pure. Harmful insects, diseases, and other organisms are being removed from the fields with this pure, powerful atmosphere. The crops are growing well, and seeds are becoming filled with nutrients. Om Shanti. This experiment may be done on the farm or at home by immersing the farm on the screen of mind. Karma Yoga. Whilst working on the farm throughout the day, there should be a flow of constructive thoughts. I am an angel of peace, spreading vibrations of peace in the entire world. Flag hoisting. Farmers are recommended to hoist the flag depicting the Supreme Being on their farm, thereby experiencing the supreme protection being bestowed on their farm. Experience the supreme security all over the farm. The benefits of sustainable yogic farming. Financial savings, increased production, nutritious and flavorsome produce, water conservation, preserving and contributing to land fertility. Research and development. On the basis of these results, and due to the successful experiments of farmers, scientists from several agricultural universities have proposed to undertake research and development projects with the Brahma Kumaris. The scientists have considered that the research into this agricultural practice could prove to be very interesting and valuable. A memorandum of understanding was signed by the Brahma Kumaris and the Sardar Krishinagar Dativada Agricultural University to conduct research on the changes brought about in various crops through the application of Rajyoga Meditation over a period of 5 years. Other research work on sustainable yogic agriculture is ongoing with G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, Marathwada Agricultural University, Parbhani, Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh Krishi Vidyapeeth, Amravati, and research institutes like Water and Land Management Institute, Aurangabad, and the Directorate of Wheat Research, Karnal. Good results are being established from this ongoing research.
SDAU Agriculture University.
Under the MOU signed between the SD Agricultural University and the Brahma Kumaris Ishwarya Vishwavidyalaya, the following experiment was undertaken. The role of meditation, along with organic inputs of productivity of groundnut and wheat cropping system. Under this multidisciplinary work, agronomy, soil science, entomology for crop protection, pathology, microbiology and physiology departments worked together. This experiment was performed on the groundnut cultivation in the Kharif season and the wheat cultivation during the Rabi season. The seeds are placed for 7 to 10 days in the meditation room of the Brahma Kumaris Center and charged with yoga vibrations before sowing in the Organic Plus meditation or yogic module. No meditation is conducted for the organic module seeds. There are 3 modules, the organic module, the organic plus meditation module and the chemical input module. We use the same amount of farm yield manure in organic as well as organic plus meditation modules. We prepare Jivamrit fertilizer, which is put in both organic and organic plus meditation plots of intervals of 20 days, 40 days and 60 days after sowing. Looking at the impact on the groundnut, it has been observed that the oil content increased and soil microbe quantity has also increased. The yield has improved in the second and third years as compared to the first year, and has become much higher when compared to the organic module. When we compare the two modules, the organic plus meditation module is superior. This was particularly visible in the quantity of microbial activity. The microbial count showed a sizable increase in rhizobium and PSB in the organic plus meditation module compared to the other modules.
Over 3 years, we've arrived at good results. We are now getting a yield from the yogic and organic modules that is equivalent to the chemical module.
Talking about the results of the last 3 years of the wheat crop, the yogic module yield was the same as the organic module in the first year. From the second year, the yogic yield has improved and was higher than the organic module. In the third year, the yield was equivalent to the chemical module. We expect the yield of the organic plus meditation module to increase each year, and the effects of meditation are quite visible. The quality parameters, such as gluten content and seed hardness, have improved together with increased volume of micronutrients. The soil microbial activity as well as the productivity of the yogic module has increased. If we look at the production quantity of groundnut in the third and last year, 9 tons of groundnut were produced in the organic plus meditation plot and 6 tons from the organic plot. This is showing us the benefits of meditation. The effect on crops treated with meditation continues to yield higher crop productivity. In the third year, this productivity was noticeably higher than the organic module. 3 years ago, we made a comparative study of yogic farming in a soybean crop, along with chemical modules. It came to our notice that the yield was good in the yogic module, with significantly lower expenditure required. The chemical module proved to be much more expensive due to the use of chemical fertilizers and of pesticides. An analysis of the nutritional content of the soybean was done by Dr. Punjab Rao Krishi Vidyapith. This analysis showed a higher content of protein and other nutrients in the yogic farming crops. We recommend that every farmer adopts yogic farming practices in their fields, and this will no doubt improve the health of the nation and the world at large.
The experiences of farmers.
India is an ancient land and has provided spiritual guidance for all. All eyes are towards India, which accomplishes such tasks, thereby becoming an example for the whole world. In this way, sustainable yogic agriculture has become a model for the whole world to follow.
The fertility of the soil is vanishing, and the state of mind and character of farmers is deteriorating. The development of sustainable yogic agriculture by this World Spiritual University will enable farmers to build up a good character, and this will help them to farm with best practices and increase the yield of crops.
The aim of sustainable yogic agriculture is to bring back the focus of the rural population onto their ancient farming culture. For this, together with the use of organic fertilizers, farmers have begun to apply very beautiful positive thoughts. As a result of this, they've found an increase in their farm produce filled with wholesomeness, nutritional content and harvest quantity.
We are using the methods of yogic farming for various crops such as sugarcane, rice, soybean, groundnut, wheat, jowar, brinjal and chili.
We have been practicing yogic farming techniques for the last 4 years. At present, we have planted Karela, bitter gourd, on our 1-acre farm. We have been getting some of the best results in the village with the crop of bitter gourd. Every 3 days we harvest 500 kilograms of bitter gourd. There are no pests, and because of the good vibrations of yoga, the seeds are soft and their normal bitterness is reduced. The size of the Karela is very large and continues to increase. As the quality is very good, its market price is also very profitable.
We started yogic farming practices in 2005. At the time we obtained this knowledge and were informed that we can apply Raj Yoga in agriculture. Since that day we are practicing yogic agriculture, which is yielding very good results. I haven't used any chemical fertilizers in my chili cultivation. I am also not using any chemical fertilizers, only organic fertilizers, and in this way started yogic farming. In order to empower soil, we use organic fertilizers, which includes cow dung compost made of scat tar, sun hemp, as well as vermicompost. We offer sweet puddings made of grains and milk. Along with these, we provide yogic vibrations to the crops in the field. We have made good profits with low expense following the use of cow urine, milk and buttermilk, neem oil on the crops. I have made a profit of 100,000 rupees, or 1 lakh. When I go to the market, my vegetables grown with yogic agriculture techniques are the first ones to be sold. Yogic farming produce fetches a higher price. There are all sorts of benefits in this type of yogic farming. I also receive help from the Supreme Soul. As the crops are very healthy, they do not generate any subsequent illness. When I was using chemical fertilizers and pesticides, my income was 3.5 lakh rupees per acre. I felt that by using organic fertilizers and switching to yogic farming, my income would improve and I could yield even better profits than by using chemical fertilizers. We observed a big difference between expenditure in chemical farming practice and that of present time. Today, with an even lower expenditure, we are able to grow better crops and in greater quantities of produce than those grown with chemical inputs. Such crops also had a higher nutritional content. Since we have been practicing yogic farming, the weed growth has reduced, harvest has increased and soil fertility has grown. Together with the increase in the harvest quantity, the quality of produce has also increased. The seeds are strong and have a certain sweetness. We are witnessing a higher yield in a practical way than we have seen through the use of chemical fertilizers. Every season, different crops are planted. This time it is cotton. My fellow farmers are using large amounts of chemical inputs. Despite not having any chemical inputs in this cultivation, the yield of cotton is extremely good. I harvested 1,500 kilos of wheat out of 0.75 biga of land. Last year, the brinjal yield was worth 1.34 lakh rupees. After deducting the expenditure of 34,000 rupees, we had a profit of 100,000 rupees. We hoist the flag of Shiva, the Supreme, in the field. We do this to help us have deep feelings of love. Whenever we see the flag, our feelings become elevated and the vibrations from our mind become positive. By hoisting the flag, we also experience the power of the Almighty to be constantly present in the fields. When I wake up in the early morning at Amrit Vela at 4 a.m. the time of nectar, I create the thought that I am an extremely pure soul with all powers. The powers of the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, the treasure store of all powers is being filled in me. From either soul, these powers are being transmitted to nature, through which the 5 elements are being purified. Every day I sit in meditation in the fields for approximately 2.5 hours and remember the Supreme Father. Every morning, while sitting in meditation at home, I visualize the field and spread yogic vibrations for half an hour. Once in a week, we practice meditation on the farm together. Men and women participate, and we sit within the fields in meditation, experiencing the Supreme's powers empowering the crops. We absorb these powers and experience them being spread to the crops. Through this practice of Raja Yoga, we experience that the crops have an increased productivity, nutritional content, and at Amrit Vela in the early morning, and in the early evening we also come here and talk to the plants. We share the rays of the Father with these plants. Whilst giving these vibrations we affirm, "You are very good, you are powerful, you are receiving the rays of the Supreme Father. The 5 elements of nature are supporting you. All illness is removed from the plants, which continue to become stronger. In this way, the plants receive extra vibrations." While working in the field, we do not allow ourselves to think anything negative or wasteful. If there is incidence of disease or pest in the crops, we prepare homemade pest repellents such as Dashpani Ark and Neem Ark and spray these over the crop as a tonic. Along with this, we meditate. We have found very good and practical results from this practice. Many other farmers are now doing the same. Whenever the plants become diseased, they can be cured through the vibrations with the protective shield of supreme power around the field.
I have created awareness in farmers. One of them has started yogic farming, and gradually other farmers also got inspired. Now we have a farmers club with 21 farmers doing yogic farming.
One time the sugarcane crop was damaged and people advised us to use urea, which are chemical fertilizers and pesticides. We did not use urea, but revived the crop through yoga power. The plants grew much taller and there was a good yield. We prepared the natural fertilizer whilst in meditation, which produced this result. We appeal to all our fellow farmers to stop using urea, as it is the cause of several diseases. We recommend that you participate in the practice of yogic farming and enable your children, your family and our nation to become healthy and prosperous. After 6 years of practicing yogic farming, I find a lot of change in myself. There is a big difference in my life. It will not take long the world to change. I am very happy that we are not producing toxic food for public consumption. The vegetables and other crops we provide are not toxic, but are filled with God's vibrations. Those who consume this food are filled with God's vibrations and will experience a sense of belonging. This is our good wish. It is my pure hope that all farmers, brothers and sisters, adopt yogic farming practice and thereby obtain very high yield. Thousands of farmers across India have already adopted the techniques of yogic farming.
India is the land of farmers, and our economy is based on agriculture. Society. With these objectives, the Sustainable Yogic Agriculture Program has been initiated. Research work is being carried out nationally and internationally, and farmers are reaping the benefits.
Awareness campaign of sustainable yogic farming. A number of awareness campaigns and trainings have been conducted nationally and internationally so that the sustainable yogic farming methods can be offered to each individual. Till now, thousands of farmers have begun to apply these methods in their farming practice. Under this campaign, in various parts of India, within various scientific agriculture institutes, a number of training programs have been initiated, such as Indian Council of Agricultural Research, New Delhi, Dr. G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith, Rahuri, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, RCER, Patna, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Research Complex, Goa, Navsari Agricultural University, Navsari, Assam Agricultural University, Jorhat, Chaudhry Charan Singh Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar, Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh Krishi Vidyapith, Akola, Rajendra Agricultural University, Samastipur, various universities, institutions and Krishi Vigyan Kendras located in different parts of India. Together with this, various events such as agricultural fairs, training camps, Kisan Mela, Sarpanch Sammelan, etc., wherein farmers were benefited through trainings in the methods of sustainable yogic agriculture. In our efforts to bring awareness of the Sustainable Yogic Agriculture Project to the international community, we have participated in the United Nations Climate Change Conference 2010, Mexico, United Nations Climate Change Conference 2011, Durban, South Africa, United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2011, Rio de Janeiro, United Nations Convention on Biodiversity 2012, Hyderabad, India, to underline its importance. There is a deep connection between the Supreme Being, nature, environment, and human beings. The Supreme Being is all-powerful. Through these unlimited powers of the Supreme, the elements of nature become pure and energized. Every particle of nature can be renewed. With regular practice of Rajyoga Meditation, we can purify the environment to the highest level. In this way, let us adopt this method and thereby protect the biodiversity of the entire world. Together, let us recognize the need of the hour and the call of the time, and enable each human being to have access to pure, sattvic and nutritious grain and food. In order to learn this incredible wisdom, farmers are invited to definitely contact their nearest center and study the course of Rajyoga Meditation. Free admission, enabling their life to become fortunate and blessed. Recognize your unlimited powers and enable the earth to once again become prosperous and flourishing. Om Shanti.